Welcome back to the Coach Mack Show, the Telfair County edition. Coach, this is probably one of the most anticipated shows we've had in a while as far as people wanting to hear your opinion about Friday night.
Well, Friday night we were happy to get a win. We have played over there. Last time we played over there at Telfair County, McRae, Georgia, we came up with a loss. We got beat over there. And they're a good football team. They've got some really great athletes, and we knew it was going to be tough. And athletically, a lot of people we play are better than us. But we knew we had to just hang in there and withstand the storm at times and keep doing what we do. And although we were also shorthanded with Andrew Lee out, we knew that we felt like Eric Daniels, I know we're going to talk about him, came up with a big game. And I think everybody wants to know about, everybody's opinion about the officiating. Plain and simple, it was the worst officiated football game I've ever been a part of as a player, as a coach, or as even a spectator. I don't know if I've seen a consistently poor officiated football game like that one was. I mean, you always know when you go on the road you're going to have more penalties called against you. We had 16 called against us. They had Telfair had 5. It seemed like when you have a holding penalty, the referee or the umpire is going to call that because that's their focus is right there. We were getting it from their sidelines, the holding penalties and so forth. And some of them and don't get me wrong now, some of these penalties we did commit. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, did we hold? Yeah, sure we held. But there were some other things that was just really poor officiating as far as even mechanics and so forth. So really disappointed in that. And we've let GHSA know that, what we felt about the crew. And if they want to look at the film, they can. And it's all right there. We always tell our kids, film don't lie. After the game, a kid can say this or that. So, we'll just look at the film. We'll know. And if you want to see how the officiating was, you can just simply look at the film, look at your broadcast, and you'll see how it was. But it was really poor a job. But I was really happy that we came out of there with a win. Defensively, I thought we played outstanding, with the exception of a couple past defensive breakdowns. We've for the last couple of years has struggled in the secondary, and we still have some problems in the secondary. We had some breakdowns there. But again, I thought our defensive front played a fantastic football game, and there's many guys that we can talk about were standouts on that side of the ball. Offensively, we threw the ball for 100 yards, and we had Eric Daniels ran the ball 17 times for 137 yards. And
his coming out party, didn't he?
And 3 touchdowns, and he's a freshman. And I'm really just proud of the job he did. He's got great vision for a running back. You'll see him make that sudden cut, get back to full speed, the things that good running backs do. So now if we can, hopefully down the road, we can get Andrew Lee healthy. We've got Eric Daniels who's come on. He's a great running back. It looks like he's going to be a great running back in his own right. Our offensive line, I tell you, Levi Cribb has been consistently good all year, and also Andrew Chesser, Petey. He's been fantastic at guard also, and there were some times where I felt like that, especially Andrew Chesser really came out and did a great job blocking for us. So our running game was doing a really good job, and we did have a few mistakes, a couple of interceptions. We had 2 fumbles by the quarterback. 1 was returned for a touchdown, which is never good. But again, these are things that we can work on, things we can address. Telfair only ran the ball for 75 yards on 35 carries. So our defense did an outstanding job. Our players of the week this week were of course, Tion Burrows on the defensive line.
I saw him the other night.
Yeah, just had a fantastic game. And then, of course, Eric Daniels on the offensive side of the ball as a freshman. He was our offensive player of the game. So
fantastic.
we're really pleased about the job that they did.
Talk about, at the beginning of the game, discounting the officiating. At the beginning of the game, it seemed like, like it was kind of nip and tuck. But that goal line stand really, I thought, was a momentum changer for us.
It was really huge. It was big for our defense. I think it was big for the crowd, too. I mean, it felt like everybody got into it then, and it felt like our defense really came alive once that happened. Of course, that was 1st and goal, probably inside the 3-yard line, and we came away with stopping them. And I tell you what, we had a lot of big stops. all night long. Mookie Smith, again, great night. Just fantastic job on the defensive line.
He's blowing up the middle.
Exactly. Omar Lewis, great job on the defensive line. Tion Burrows was just fantastic. Had two and a half sacks that counted. Had 2 other sacks that were taken away by supposedly face mask, but looked like his hand just went right across the guy's helmet on the way down. We never saw grass with a face mask on film.
And
Never
again,
saw one during the game.
that was another official making that call.
Yeah, again, an official making a call on something that just looked like something that just wasn't. But again, that would have gave him 5.5 sacks on the night if they would have counted. Just real good job by our linebackers. Our leading tackler on the night again was Anthony Jackson. He had 9 tackles and an interception. And then we had our other inside linebacker just did a great, really good job. Mac Barlow, number 11. Mac had a lot of good stops, hustling around. Real high energy guy. He's not a very big guy, so he's got to play with a lot of energy.
He finds a way to the ball.
He really does. He had a pile of tackles. And then also Brad Milton. Brad Milton's kind of that hybrid kid. He's a secondary guy, but you'll find him by the line of scrimmage. We do a lot of things with him, move him around all over the field. Brad Milton, number 15, just had a really good game. Brad had, I think, 8.5 tackles, and a lot of those tackles came on kickoff coverage too. So he really contributed to the defensive side of the ball and over on the special team side also.
Speaking of special teams, I thought Tevis did a real good job punting.
He did. He had 1 punt that was really not a good punt, but the rest of them were excellent. Yeah. Excellent job. We've got to get better on our protection. Today we worked hard on our protection, making sure that we got everything taken care of. People rushing the kick. We didn't do a good job on that, but the snap by our snap was really good by Scott Birchall, and then Scott was about perfect on every snap on punt. Thank goodness, because if he wasn't, they'd got blocked, I think. And of course, Tevis came up with some great punts, and then our coverage was really good. They had 0 return yards on punt. But again, really good job there. Kick coverage was good at times, not so good at times, but that's the way it's been. Seems like forever. I'll tell you, no team that kicks it deep in high school football, if you kick the ball deep, it seems like it don't matter who you are, the ball's going to be returned near the midfield.
Yeah.
Almost every time.
It's almost have more running room.
It's getting to the point where I think one day you're going to see every kickoff just onside kicking, just because it's probably not going to be returned for a touchdown, and you can control the situation a little bit better.
Really,
you have a chance to get the ball back, plus you have a chance to kill it right there instead of being returned for touchdowns.
You're giving us a little bit of insight into the playoffs.
I tell you, if you watch Charlton County football of the year, probably nobody has onside kicked or fake punted more than we have. We like the fake punt. We like the onside kick. So, it is part of our package. It sure is.
All right, Coach. The offensively, started off with Devin Hannons in the backfield, and it looked like a little bit of rotation there between him and Eric.
Yeah, Devin was a big part of what we were doing on the defensive side of the ball, and of course with him, we had Eric. We took Eric off of defense just because we felt like we were going to run him a lot more at running back. And we also knew that we can have Devin Hannons was going to probably start the game off at running back, plus he's starting defense. And we try to get kids just going one way if possible. We like to play a lot of guys if we can. And so we really turned it over to Eric later on. We gave Devin had 5 carries, but then we really turned it over to Eric, and he had 17. And another thing I'd like to mention, Kurt Nixon caught 2 deep balls, 2 catches for 33 yards. But Cavante Nash, number 17, senior wide receiver, defensive back, he was targeted 4 times and caught all 4. 4 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown. So Cavante had a really big game.
He was our senior spotlight too Friday night.
That's right. And then Scott Birchall had one good big catch to convert a first down. But then Scott also came back on the 2-point conversion and is one of the best balls I've seen Jimmy throw. Jimmy threw a great ball. Jimmy Nettles threw a great ball, an out route, and Scott made a perfect catch just across the goal line like we like it to be. And so that was executed very well there.
Going into the fourth quarter, it was, I believe it was tied 8 close.
I think it was 21-20.
Yeah, 21-20. Those 2 interceptions were huge there at the end.
2 interceptions were huge. Defense was playing huge. Of course, when you have the ball turned over and you have such a short field, we were able to punch it in. One time on one play, another time just on 2 plays. That was really huge, us scoring those. We ended up scoring 13 points within a matter of just a couple minutes.
Felt like a little bit of relief.
Yeah, then finally you felt like you can actually breathe again, because before it was a tight game all the way through. We really felt like all but one period of the game, we felt like we had the momentum. We felt like everything was in control. Even with 7-0 at halftime, we felt pretty good about it. I felt like the only way that I felt like they would get into it was by a mistake. And sure enough, and I mentioned that to our kids, as long as we take care of the ball and do things we're supposed to do, I think we can. This thing's going to go our way. And sure enough, Jimmy took off on a long run, and the ball got knocked out of his hands, and it went back for a touchdown. Then you had a tie game. Yeah. And that's exactly what we feared. But again, we rose up and had a great fourth quarter and really a great second half. Other than we gave up 2 touchdown passes for touchdowns. But other than that, I felt like we played a really great second half.
All right. We're going to take a short break, Coach. When we come back, we're going to do our senior spotlight. Mm-hmm. And I believe you have Malik Brunson.
That's right, Malik Brunson.
All right. Well, we'll be right back.
The Folkestone Pharmacy, your original hometown pharmacy for over 45 years, is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet broadcasts. Folkestone Pharmacy accepts insurance from most local employers, including the City of Folkestone, Charlton County, Babcock and Wilcox, AJM, Charlton Memorial Hospital, and many others. The Folkestone Pharmacy wishes the Indians best of luck this season.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. Our senior spotlight coach, Malik Brunson, number 2.
Yeah, Malik, I tell you what, he's worked hard. He's been a real program guy. I mean, he's been here since junior high. And Malik Brunson's a really, really tough kid, and he's a good student. And unfortunately, I believe it was, second game of the year? We were playing Bacon County, maybe third game of the year, yeah. Bacon County. He had a terrible broken leg, broke both bones in his lower leg, and towards the end of the game while he was running the football, and it was really, we felt bad for the team, but not nearly as bad as we felt for him. Yeah. Because going into a senior year, working hard, doing everything you need to do to get you ready to be a real contributor, starter on on your football team as a senior, and then something like that happens. I mean, it was just really heartbreaking. It was something that we really it's just something that really felt bad for Malik. You know, Malik's had some tough deals in his life. Trinkle, his mother, died this past, I believe it was summer, from cancer, and he's living with his grandmother. His dad, Donahue Brunson, has been in the military, retired military, just here recently. Donahue, his dad was a great high school football player for us. Got offered by his University of South Carolina, awesome. and then pursued that. Then he ended up pursuing the military route and graduated from there. But again, Malik was just in a couple games. You know, he had a couple tackles for us and was all over the field as far as that go. Blocked the kick for us in the first 3 games. Rushing wise, he had 5 carries for 77 yards. That comes up to a 15-yard per carry.
That's a good average.
Now, Malik has always been that guy the last couple of years when, Andrew Lee kind of gets winded or starting to wear down or you want to pull him out of the game, but yet you still like to get something going on the running game. Malik has been that guy. You can put him in there,
plug him in,
and it's really a way to score a touchdown without feeling like, hey, your starting running back did it to somebody, because he was, and in that, in those 5 carries, he scored a touchdown, 77 yards, plus he was a starting defensive back. He was also a kickoff return guy, potentially punt return guy. So really hate it for him. Now he's rehabbing. He's off the crutches. He don't have a cast. He has a boot that he's walking with, and I'll see him take the boot off and just, move his ankle around, which I think he's allowed to do. I know if you ask Malik, hey, you going to get to play? And he says, yeah, I'm going to get to still play this year. But it's going to be tough because it was a very, very serious broken lower leg. One of those kind of, like to get in graphic details, but I mean, it was one of those kinds where you had to put a rod in it. And it was a serious surgery that was done on his leg. But he's coming along just fine. Hopefully you know, it might be one of those things maybe with Drake Gillis a year ago. We get hot in the playoffs and keep playing every week and
get him back.
And you never know. Maybe we'll see him on the field towards the very end if we're fortunate enough to keep playing long enough. But again, awesome. I think it's unlikely. You know, he's a kid who's always done a really good job in the classroom. I know he wants to go to college and get a degree in business, he said. And I think with his intelligence, if he puts his mind to it, he'll easily be a college graduate and hopefully a successful young man one day down the road. And so we really pull for him, and hopefully things go well for Malik down the road.
Wish him all the best, and it'd be awesome if we make that run into the playoffs and get him back, like you said, like Drake.
Yeah, it'd definitely be really inspirational. You know, we've this year, I've been so fortunate for so long to not have kids get hurt, and this year, you know, with Malik getting hurt, and just before that, we had Toby Dasher got hurt. It seems like every week somebody's getting injured and going to have to miss time. But again, you know, our team really hurt for Malik when he got hurt, and we really, really pray for him and hope that he's able to move on from this and have a great life.
All right. Well, Malik, congratulations, man. You're our senior spotlight for this week at senior night, too.
Senior night this Friday.
Clinch County. And we'll be right back with the final segment, discuss Clinch County and senior night.
That's right.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation offers more than dependable electrical energy at a competitive price. Quality service is provided by a friendly and professional staff trained to meet your every electrical power need, whether residential, commercial, or industrial. If you have any questions or need information, call us at 1-800-262-5131. Okefenokee REMC, owned by those we serve. A proud sponsor of this year's Indian football broadcast.
Welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. Probably one of the biggest rivalries in South Georgia, Charlton County and Clinch County. We were going over some fun little stats, and according to your personal stat, 15-6. Can we rile them up a little bit and say we own Clinch County?
No, not at all. Clinch County is, I've seen it in print before where people have talked about the best rivalries in Georgia. And I think a lot of people always start with Lowndes versus Valdosta, and because they're two big schools, and of course right there in the same community. But I've seen it to where it's always been Lowndes Valdosta #1 rivalry, and then #2 rivalry has been Charlton Clinch.
Yeah.
It seems like we have played, I believe we said 62 times in our school history.
Yeah.
62 times, and our overall record is us 33, them 28. And one tie. But to show you how close this thing is, over the years, we have scored 877 points, and they have scored 861 points. So this thing is very, very tight. Now, that's over the history of this thing. Now, you just take it from last year. This thing's no contest. Clinch County's better than we are, because last year we went over there and we got beat bad, 34-7, and it really wasn't even that close. I think we were physically dominated. We were out-coached. We were outplayed. We were out everything you can be in a game. We went over there and Clinch County's always had tremendous athletes. Some of the best athletes in the state of Georgia are born and raised right there in Clinch County, and this team, we looked at them. Of course, we've been seeing them all year long, and I will admit, I all throughout the year we'll look in on them and look at them on film and talk about them. It seems like we're always going to take a time out of our meetings just to talk about Clinch County, because they're so, number one, they're so well respected by us. We have tremendous respect for that program. Their program is part of the reason why we have strived to be as good as we are. When I first came here as head coach in 1990, before that time, Clinch County really beat us quite often, and even early on, when I became head coach, my first game against Clinch County, we lost, I believe it was 13-0. And then we had a few times, and then finally in 91 we lost to them again. They won the state championship, and in 92 we finally got over the hump. that may be, other than the state championship games, that may be one of our biggest wins in school history. It was in 1991, finally beating Clinch County.
A milestone.
It really was. It was one of those things where we felt like, yeah, we can do this, because we always looked at Clinch County as the program to really try to copy your program after. In single A football, you always talked about Clinch County, Lincoln County were the two teams everybody always talked about. And we knew that for us to achieve any type of greatness or even consider ourselves in the mix, you had to line up against those folks, and you had to eventually try to beat those people. So once we did beat Clinch, it's been one of those games to where it's just been a real battle. I mean, you talk about physical football play, you talk about hard football play. That game is probably the most intense football play you're going to see. Now, it's a rival really unlike any others. I have Coach Don Tyson, senior. I probably liked and respected no coach more than him. I mean, you talk about a fantastic man. Coach Don Tyson is probably one of the greatest men I've ever met and coached against, and just an incredible person who really built that program over there. And then right now you have Jim Dickerson, the head football coach. I mean, he's one of my favorite people. Really is. I have a lot of respect for Coach Dickerson, and I think he's a tremendous, tremendous football coach, and I consider him a friend. And you look at our football games, it's not the kind of rivalry where you think, well, we're going to have problems, or we're going to have fights, or we're going to have 15-yard penalties and all that. It's really nothing like that. It's one of those games where we're going to prepare for as hard as we can, because we know they're outstanding.
Yeah. And
we know they're well coached and disciplined and all the kind of things that you want a team to be. And we know when we play them, we're going to have a tremendous, tremendous test. They're going to, and if you were to be fortunate enough and to beat Clinch County, you know you have beaten a great football team, and it says a lot about your football team. So, I look forward to this Friday being a tough game for us. Number one, just, you can say what you want, but everybody's going to see when the game starts. They have tremendous, tremendous athletes. Those kids are extremely coached well by Coach Dickerson and his staff. The athleticism is just, you're not going to see anybody in Class A football that has the athletes they have. Their skilled kids are tremendous. They have a defensive end, number 81, and he's already committed to University of Georgia.
Really?
They have a player, and it's hard to figure out this offense they run, it's single wing, version of the wing tee, but maybe before wing tee was even an offense, this offense right here. Old football coaches love to watch this offense, and I think I consider myself an old football coach now. I enjoy just watching it, because it really takes you back to the beginning of football. It's more single wing. It's really, you almost have two quarterbacks in the backfield right next to each other. The ball can go to either one of them. And then you have other backs back there. The ball can go anywhere. And it's really tough to defend. It's tough to prepare for. And I know we're working on it, but it's going to be tough to stop them. Yeah. And number 5, Johnson's his last name. He's already committed, I believe, to South Carolina, but he had offers from everybody. And on the offensive side of the ball, you're going to see him run the ball. Today, looking at film, we saw him not one time. He had one of the best blocks I've seen a back have.
Really?
And this kid's a Division I football player, and he's blocking. So that tells you what kind of kid he is and what kind of football player he is. And that's real coaching right there, when you get one of your best football players to go ahead and sacrifice and be a great blocker. So, again, these guys they're much, much better athletes than we are. I personally, my opinion, and this ain't poor mouth in no way, no how, I don't know how this season's going to end. I don't know how this Friday's going to end or whatever. But in my opinion, I think the two best football teams in the state of Georgia, really, let me say the top 4 football teams in the state of Georgia is Irwin County, Marion County, Clinch County, and Hawkinsville. I think those right there are your best 4 football teams. And all 4 of them, you cannot pick a favorite. I think they're all, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, really, right now. I think they're all that good. And I think, Friday, you're going to get a chance to see Clinch County, great athletes, 2 kids that you're going to see playing Division I football and maybe pro football one day. So it's going to be a tough, tough task. But you know what? these are the games I enjoy. I enjoy it because it's going to bring the best out of us as coaches. It's going to bring the best out of us as a football team and football players. You know, a lot of the fans, I guess, and maybe some players enjoy games to where at halftime you're up by 4 or 5 touchdowns. You know, really, to me, we put in a whole week's work, and that's not really what I look for on Friday night. On Friday night, I want something that's going to really it's really going to challenge me as a coach, and it's going to challenge our team, as football players. And Clinch County is most definitely going to do that. Without a doubt, you know, we're the underdog. They're the favorite. That's fine because, you know, it's going to force us to have hopefully a good week of practice.
Yeah.
Today, to be honest with you, wasn't a real good day of practice, but we've got to turn it around. We've got to have a great week just to compete with these guys, because last year, Clinch County showed us they're at a whole different level than we are.
They played some ball last year.
They sure did, whipping us like they did, and I don't think we hardly competed a play against them. So we're going to have to step our game up. I'm not sure we're better than we were last year. I know Clinch County's a lot better this year than they were last year.
Really?
Last week against Lanier, Clinch County had over 600 yards of offensive on offense. Now, I don't know of a lot of football teams against anybody that can get 600 yards. Now, I'm serious. We can go out here and put 48 minutes on the clock and run our offense against no defense, and I'm not sure we can get 600 yards of offense against air. So this is an incredible offensive football team. Defensively, they're outstanding. Special teams, when you've got the skilled kids they have, they're going to be outstanding on special teams also. So it's a game we've got to play our very, very best to even think about having a chance against them. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the atmosphere.
It's going to be fun.
And when the game's over, I mean, if they beat us 100-0, so be it. But we're going to go over and shake hands and ask them to pray with us and wish them the best of luck. And it's not one of those rivalries where
it's not a hate rivalry.
No, it's really not. The rivalry has been based out of just pure respect. We truly respect Clinch County and their ability to play football. And so we hopefully we can compete with them. Hopefully we can give them a good game, and hopefully we can do some good things. And maybe in the fourth quarter we got ourselves a football game on our hands. But again, we're going to have to play better than we've played all year long for that to happen.
All right, Coach. It's also senior night.
It is.
Talk about the ceremony before the game. Is it at halftime? How are they going to lay out?
Senior night. Our senior night is always it always starts before the game.
Okay.
At 7 o'clock, and just kind of like the 2004 reunion, we'd like for hopefully get a big crowd there to recognize these seniors at 7 o'clock. This is also going to be senior. We may have a softball girl who's a senior. I'm not sure. Mistakenly, if I got that wrong. But I know we have some senior band members. I believe Ashley Garvin is a senior softball player. We do have one senior softball player. And I know we have some senior band members. So we have one senior cheerleader, Shirley Pollock. So hopefully in this senior class, I believe I have 14 football seniors. So I hope we have a crowd on hand at 7 o'clock to welcome them and to kind of send them on their way. And also, this is also a big night for parents. I can remember when I was in high school and even in college, we didn't truly have a senior night. Yeah. You know, we used to say every game's senior game. I mean, this is your senior year. You should play like every game's senior night. We had what was called Parents' Night, where you recognize your parents more than the seniors themselves. So I've always looked at this, you know, as senior night, which is traditionally that's the way it's always been here. But I look at it also as Parents' Night.
Parents accomplished something too.
That's right, exactly. The parents have made a lot of sacrifices.
They survived.
All the way through your life. I mean, I can't imagine some of the sacrifices some of these parents are making every day with some of these guys. But to recognize the parents is really important to me, because the parents are what, you know, these kids, you know as a parent, I know as a parent, kids that come home late from practice, they got still homework to do, you still got to get them in bed at a decent hour, and then you always have something to deal with other than that. And also, kids are going to come home and say, you know, I had a terrible day at practice, I'm mad about everything. And I can remember as a parent, my mom would always tell me, listen, you're playing the game because it's fun. You're playing the game because you love your teammates and everything. And I right away I'd realize she's right. You know, yes, I did have a bad day, But the reason I'm going back tomorrow is because of my team and my teammates and my coaches. So making it through the senior year of football is a big deal. To me, we have a chance to host a playoff game. We do have a chance. But still, this for sure is the last game they're going to play on this field. Hopefully, if things work out, we'll have a home playoff game. They'll get another game on this field.
That'd be fantastic.
But again, it's a big night for the seniors, big night for the parents, and I hope everybody comes out at 7 o'clock or in the stands to really give them the attention they deserve.
Well, and can't use Halloween as an excuse.
No.
The county, Charlton County, has moved Halloween to Thursday, October 30th. They're having a Main Street, asking everybody to do their trick-or-treat on Thursday, so everybody can make senior night, the football game, and everything on Friday.
That's right. That's right. And so it's and also to wrap things up, I guess we have we finish our B team football season this Thursday at Ware County. B team has been exciting this year. We've won some, we've lost some, but irregardless, it's been exciting.
It's been exciting.
So if you're looking for something to do Thursday evening at 5 o'clock and you're around Waycross, come on out to Memorial Stadium at Waycross and come watch these guys play their last B team football game. And I think we really need to give a big shout out to our girls softball team.
They had a huge season.
Yeah, record-breaking season. Most seasons don't end the way you want. Very, very few teams get to end holding the state championship trophy. I mean, as good as we've been in football, we've only done it 4 times.
Yeah.
And so I really hate it when people judge a season by
how it ended,
how the ending is. I mean, I think that their body of work this year, Coach Baxter, Coach Marksman, and all those girls has been incredible. Incredible season, and really, all but one player is coming back next year, so they can expect to have another great season. But I know these kids on that softball team are easy to cheer for, some wonderful kids. And really, what a great year. Record-breaking season, more wins than they've ever had, so they got something to shoot for next year to break that record again, their record.
They'll get it.
And so again, great job, maidens.
Congratulations to them. They were 19-win season, and we had Coach Baxter in here last week. He said 3 runs away from having a 20-win season.
That's right.
So congratulations, girls. Coach, I appreciate it as usual. We'll see you Thursday in Ware, Friday night here for senior night.
That's right.
All right, we'll see y'all Friday night.